Hello, this is a review of the wig Hudson, the 2018 new wig Hudson by Rene of Paris, and this is in the colour Moccachino long rooted. Right, so as you can see, it's darker at the root and it graduates very subtly into a lighter brown. So we just compare here so you can see the difference. I think personally this looks very natural, extremely natural. I in all honesty wouldn't think this was a wig. To me this is it looks natural. I've chosen to pin it over here and here. All my life I've had a fringe, so I'm just trying it. I think it looks quite nice. I mean, I'm 62. Of course, I'm so used to seeing myself with a fringe, but I think it looks nice like this. So we're just going to move back. These are ringlets. This is not, I wouldn't describe this as a beach wave, because it's not as loose as a beach wave. I have got a beach wave like an Ivana, and where it's looser. This is more ringlets, as you can see. The ringlets are evenly distributed on the wig, so it's not too heavy, in my opinion. This to me feels light and comfortable. This is my second Hudson. I've already bought one in Plumberry Jam, long rooted. So that speaks for itself. This is a very comfortable wig, in my opinion. I have cropped hair, but I am the sort of person, I am fussy, I like my comfort. I'm used to wearing amore wigs, right? This has no monofilament in it, right? But it's very comfortable. It's really comfortable, and I'm very fussy. For me, it's everything comfort. I won't wear it if it's not, it's no point, because I won't wear it if it's not comfortable. The graduation of the colour from sort of medium dark brown to lighter is so subtle and so gently graduated ombre that it doesn't actually look as if you've been to the hairdressers and had it done professionally. It actually, to me, it looks natural, because I've seen lots of women with naturally curly hair like this, where it's a bit dark at the root and it gets a bit lighter, right? This is very pretty. The nice thing about this length is you can do a pony. Look at that. You can see at the back. You can have a pony. You could also do a little twist here and pin it up like that. Right? That's quite sweet, isn't it? That's quite pretty, isn't it, for the evening? Right? And you could have some tassels down, hanging down. You could also do it sideways. So there's a lot you can do with this because it's shoulder length. Now, I've done research on curly wigs and the Hudson and how to look after it. The first thing with curly wigs, you do not brush. That is the law with curly wigs. Any curly wig, you don't brush it. Absolute no-no. Never, ever. Not for one moment consider brushing a curly wig. The second thing is, you want to be using your fingers, tousling. Like, you know that how you see the hairdressers do this, don't they? That they like to do this a lot, don't they? And you're thinking, why are they messing about with the hair so much like that? But what they're doing is right. They're tousling. You could use a fine-tooth wig comb on the Hudson, but you have to do it very gently and very carefully. But really, there is no need. Not with the Plumberry Jam I've got in Hudson. You just want to be doing this. What you can do is moisten your fingers, put some conditioner, spray conditioner, wig conditioner or tonic, rub it into your hands and then do that. Add moisture that way. You could in the morning just wet your hands and just tousle it through very, very gently. This is about gentleness. It's not about pulling and tugging or trying to make the curl looser. No, you don't want to do that. You're just titivating. It's fiddling, and it's just helping the curl. For this wig, as I bought, you want to be buying spray tonic, a spray detangler like John Rene. A curly wig like naturally curly hair and even permed hair does need spray conditioner on it, and it needs a tonic if you want to give it a little bit of sheen. The sheen that's on the Hudson at the moment will probably wear off because this is silicone, right? So it will wear off. Now some of you will say, well, that's great because I don't want it to look shiny. It's all to do with how you want it to look. Do you want it looking glossy, or do you want it looking matte? It's up to you. If you're wanting a bit of a glossy ringlet, you just use your spray conditioner, you spray tonic. You could spray it on directly and then fiddle, or you spray it on your hand and fiddle. Equally, you can use cold water on your hands and fiddle. But the thing is to just do it very gently with your fingers. If you look at the curls, look at the space between each curl. Look, it's not heavily loaded, this cap. It's not a bushy, curly wig. You know, this is not like other wigs that, it's not a full, heavy, dense, curly wig. No, this is, I didn't check the weight, but I can tell you this is lightweight. Look at the gap between one curl and another, between one ringlet and another. Look at that gap. You don't see it at the back. I mean, it's looking great at the back. If I could turn that. There are no gaps. It's not like there's not enough ringlets. There's a big gaps or anything. No. What I'm trying to get across to you is that it's not heavy. It's not overloaded, because if you have naturally curly hair, invariably it's too thick, and it's a nightmare trying to manage it. But remember, this has been constructed to just the right amount of curls that a woman would ideally want. She doesn't want to be overwhelmed with too many curls that she doesn't know what to do with, and it's a handful. This is manageable. This is very light, so wear it on a hot day and it's light. Look how the space between each curl. So that means the air's going through. Can you see the air's going through? That means it's not heavy on the neck. It's not hot on the neck. It's very light and comfortable. This doesn't have a monofilament in it. It's a plain basic cap. I have no hair, but it feels to me very, very comfortable, and I'm very fussy. Right, and comfort is everything. Now, there is some net under the fringe here. I've forgotten the proper word for it. The lace thing front. Now, it irritated slightly, so I took off the wig and I checked it, and I could see it was slightly longer than my previous Hudson, right? So it was slightly longer. So what I did, very, very carefully and slowly, gently, carefully, with sharp scissors, and I just cut it a little bit off, just across here, right? And then I put the wig on, and it's comfortable. This wig is comfortable. I trimmed that bit of net that was over there that was irritating me slightly. I trimmed it very, very, very slightly, very carefully. You don't cut into the hair. You don't go too near the edge, I just did it fractionally, and I did that, and now the fringe feels perfectly fine. It is comfortable. It does not irritate. It does not annoy. It's perfect. So I'm saying this as an encouragement to you, that don't panic if you're thinking, oh dear, it's irritating here. Just trim it, and it's fine. It feels perfectly fine on me, right? So as you can see, the gorgeous, we're moving back to try and give you the length. You could see the length, right? This is nice because you could do a loose plait with this if you wanted. I think this is, I like this. To me, it's like a 1940s look, right? And I saw a photograph of my late mother taken in the 1940s, and she had her hair like this, just like this. And what she'd done with the long fringe, she'd taken it down and rolled it up, right? You know how they used to do on the old photographs, you see them, they roll it up. Now I tried it and it did actually look very, very nice. I thought, yes, it's nice. So if you're into the 40s look, I would say the Hudson is ideal because you can actually play with it. Without cutting it, you can just roll it up. There's nothing to stop you rolling this up. If you're good with hair, you could roll this up. I'm just thinking without, because I don't want to. Can you, if you did that up there, probably if somebody else did it on you, it would be easier to do. So you're turning it over like that and over, like the old days. There's a special name for it and I've forgotten it. Like the 1940s. And you just pin it all the way round. You can do that with this wig. You could possibly do that on a wig stand yourself. But it's probably easier perhaps if somebody did, somebody behind you and just, you could get some foam and just, I'm just using my remote here. Can you see? Like that. Bringing it up all the way round. You see? It's a funny thing to be using, isn't it? So she's using a remote television. Can you see that? Can you see what I'm getting at? If you'd pin that and then did the next one, it would actually look really 1940s. This colour I feel comfortable in. This is Moccachino long rooted, and this is probably really similar to my the colour I had when I had hair, because my hair stopped growing in my 30s. I think this is probably the closest to my natural colour in my 30s, and I think immediately I put it on I felt comfortable. I thought, oh, this is me. I think this makes me look younger. I'm 62, nearly 63, and I don't think I look that age. I would say I look about late 40s. I don't think this is too young for me. You might think it's too young for me. I think it's very, very pretty. You see? I'm just showing you the curl. You could see the gorgeous colours. Right. This is it. Look. You can see all different shades there. This is very pretty. I'd like to say this isn't too dark at the root. So if you're worried it might be too dark, I think it's just right, to be honest. This isn't dark brown. It's not heavy dark brown. This is what I would call medium to dark. It's totally balanced, the colour, and I think that's why it looks, to me, I think it looks natural myself. Just moving back. Just moving. Can you see all the mixtures of the different shades in it? You see, coming down. It's extremely, extremely pretty. It is very pretty. And what I would advise, you've got to decide, do you want the ringlet look or do you want the beach look? Because they are different. I've got a beach look wig. And to be honest, it does look nice on me. I think this looks better on me. I think the ringlet looks suits me more, but you have to decide what suits you. You see, it is a different look. This is more dainty. It's kind of girlish. It's sort of like a Goldilocks type thing. You could imagine this. You could imagine this. Goldilocks wearing this. If she had gold hair, this would be like Goldilocks. These are the kind of curls you perhaps want as a little girl. And you know, as a little girl at school, you know, you'd see them and think, I wish my hair was like that. But you remember when you're at school and you see little girls with hair like this, with ringlets like that, and it was natural. And now you can have it with the Hudson Wig. The Plumberry Jam wig, I actually cut the fringe and you know, I cut it to make it into a fringe, right? And it does look actually very nice. It suits me. Obviously I've always had a fringe, but I'm now getting into this. I'm quite happy now with this parting, like I've kept it. This is the way it is. This is where the parting is. It's very important that you have the tabs here right by your ears. Don't be tempted to move the wig so that it's in the centre. It's not supposed to be in the centre, because what this is all about is balance. The wig has been constructed, and this is a constructed wig. I mean, this is engineered. This is hairdressers at the very top of their range brilliance. They've designed this wig, and it's been styled to have the parting just here, and it's been set with the ringlets to hang just like this, right? And it's precision. This is a precision wig. This is like what you want your curls to look like, right? And in the real world, this is hard to maintain. In the 80s, I used to have a perm, and when I had the perm, the first 2 weeks, it looked like this. It looked lovely, and then it would unravel, and it was like, then it got really dried out, and it became frizzy, and it just went to pot. That's why nobody likes it. The 80s perms were very difficult. There weren't the products invented then to use on permed hair, and it was, I suppose the chemicals were quite harsh, and when you had a perm in the 80s, the whole scalp was dried out, and all the hair would be dried out, everything dried out. It's extraordinary. You could arrive at the hairdressers with beautiful shoulder length, silky hair, straight hair, and you'd have a perm, and your scalp would be dried out, and the whole of the perm would be dry, totally dried. There wouldn't be any moisture in it. This has got more moisture in it than a permed hair in the 80s, and there weren't the products to moisten it. There was just ordinary, you just conditioned it. There was no spray tonics and spray conditioners and detanglers. There was nothing like that at all. So people really struggled. But you don't have to struggle with this. But I bought the John Rene detangler, and I've got the spray tonic and everything. So this Hudson is not difficult maintenance, but when you put it on, you have to be prepared to just titivate it a little bit, wet your hands and put some spray conditioner on and moisten it, perhaps spray some detangler, and you go fiddle this, fiddle that. So what you're doing is just redefining the curl. Now, this is what you would do if you had naturally curly hair. This is what people in the morning do. When you have naturally curly hair, or you've had your hair permed, this is what you have to do. You have to do all the titivating. It'll only take you 5 minutes. We're not talking about back combing and fiddling and this and that. No. This is just simply, you put it on, and in 5 minutes you are ready to go. You're ready to go. You can put this on and answer the front door immediately, even without titivating it, without messing with it. You could just pop it on, answer the front door, and you look fantastic. right? But obviously what the thing to do is you put it on and then you fiddle, spray this and spray there, and you fiddle about and sort that out. You do not brush it. You avoid, don't even use a wide tooth comb. Just, there is no need on this. They're not meant, don't, avoid it. Just use your fingers, right? It's not the end of the world. You can perhaps do it slightly, with a wide tooth comb, but be very, very gentle, very, very careful. When you wash it, obviously soak it in wig conditioner, and then don't wring it, don't touch it, lift it out, it's dripping wet, don't worry about that, don't touch it, put it on top of your wig stand, leave it, don't touch it, don't brush it, don't comb it, nothing. You've got to let the wig totally dry, because it's going to fall back, believe it or not, into these curls. Now when you take it out of the water, it will look a sight, as all wigs do. They look awful. You take them out, it's going to look terrible, oh, it's going to look awful. But you must not touch that wig until it's bone dry, right? And then you very gently with your fingers work through, perhaps very gently with a wig comb, very, very gently, and spraying it with your wig tonics. And you spray wig conditioner. You really want to do it very gently and delicately, like that, right? Very, very delicate, because these are ringlets. You do not want to be pulling and tugging at these ringlets. As soon as you do that, you spoil the curl. And it's the same with natural hair. If you start pulling and tugging your hair, if your hair is naturally like this and you start pulling and tugging it, you spoil the look of it. And then what do you have to do? You have to wet the whole thing again. Now if you find that you've pulled whatever, you've done it too much, what you have to do is simply wet it all again. Wet it. Wet your hands and pat it very gently, like that. Wet it, like that, very gently. Leave it. Absolutely leave it. That is the secret to the management of curly hair, is using those fingers, because that's what your fingers are for, just like the hairdressers do. Just like that, very, very gently. You could see it's working here. You could see. Look here. Look what I'm doing. Right? When you take it out of the wig box, you shake it. Give it again a good airing. You want to get air into the wig. Not throw it about, but get the air into it, and then put it on very carefully. Look what we're doing. You can just separate as you want, but you don't overdo it. Really, you've got to want these curls, these ringlets. There's no point buying this wig if you don't want ringlets. I know it sounds obvious, but you don't want to spoil the look of it. And this is the look that you want, isn't it? This is the look that you saw and you thought, that's the way I want my hair. So you don't want to mess with it too much, which I'm actually doing, aren't I? Messing, fiddling, but I'm just trying to, can you see? I'm just doing it so lightly. I've seen this look in 1920s photographs, in the 1920s. What I'm looking at, this image, I've seen this so many times in photographs, old photographs taken probably in the 1900s, women, particularly with that colour hair. And I can remember seeing lots and lots of photographs with ringlets, because what they used to do in the old days, my late mother used to do that, like they used to use irons, would you believe? Irons, and they would curl it on curling irons. So you can imagine how that damaged the hair, you see. But this is what they used to do at the beginning of the 20th century. That's what the film stars used to do, the Hollywood. Remember, if you go back to the early 20th century and you see the silent films, how many silent films have you seen with women like hair like this? And they would have had it done. The ringlets were created with irons, right? You see, and they're probably using all sorts to give it a sheen and things. And they would also have the lights shining on the hair very strongly, so that to make it look as shiny as possible. They'd be using all the tricks, you know, that they could think of. So again, this is I hope this you find this interesting. The history of a style like this is a 1940s style, and this was also the early 20th century style of the silent films, having the ringlets, right? It wasn't the beach waves that they had, it was the ringlets, and there's a difference, you see. Can you see there, comparing the top and the bottom? Right. So you can see. This is nice because I just put a tiny bit of blusher on. This is so natural. This is really, really natural. And I've taken some photographs, and you know, I keep looking at them and I think it looks so natural. Of course, just thinking how natural it looks now. You know, I think it's absolutely lovely. And it's moving. Look at those ringlets moving. Look at it. Look, look, look. You see how it's moving? That's how. Look at the gap between. You see? Do, 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 do. Like that. Isn't it nice? Anyway, I hope you found this. Hope you found this interesting. And particularly for older ladies, that you know, you can, you know, if you can carry it off, why not? You know, you know, I'm quite happy with this. I'm nearly 63, and I think it looks good. I think if you suit it, why not wear it? It's as simple as that. If it suits you, go for it. Go for it.